Hey everyone, it's Matt here with Nightrun Studio, and so far in this series we've been doing a lot of setup, so it's time we finally hooked things up. In this video we'll make it so that we can collect items and have them actually populate our inventory. We're going to start off by making it so that when we collect gold it actually tallies up here with our gold icon. So let's head into scene view. I'm just going to drag a loot prefab that we made in the first video up here into my game. Now when I click on it, I just need to add an item scriptable object in order to get this item set up, but I haven't actually made one yet for my gold. So let's head into our scriptable objects folder. I'm just gonna make a copy of an existing SO here. We'll rename it to gold. We'll just give it a name, a description, make sure it's got a sprite, and then check the is gold box. I'm also just gonna turn off stats as the gold isn't gonna make us faster or more powerful. With that done, we can go back to our loot prefab, add the gold SO here, decide how much gold we actually wanna pick up. I'm gonna go with 7. All right, now that we've got a gold item, we can actually get scripting. So let's begin in our loot script. Now at the moment we have things set up so that whenever the player collides with this object, we play an animation and then destroy the object. We're gonna change that up here and actually send out a message to any scripts that are listening and let them know that an item's been collected. So let's head up top here. We're gonna make a public static event action. Now at first, Unity's not gonna recognize that. You can right click and under quick actions, we can just go to using system. You could also just type using system. Now it will recognize that and we can pass in some parameters. First of all, we just wanna let any listeners know which item we picked up, so we'll put item SO, and what the quantity of that item is, so we'll also send over an integer. Finally, we'll name our event. I'm gonna call it onItemLooted, as we'll use this anytime we collect any items. Now we can go down to our onTrigger method, and here we're just gonna go onItemLooted ? Which just makes sure there's actually a listener, and if there is, it's going to invoke this specific event. Now we do need to pass along our item SO and integer, so we'll just put that information in here. All right, we're now sending out a message, but we don't have any scripts listening to it. So let's head back into Unity where we can create a new C# script. And here we're actually gonna make our inventory manager, which is really gonna be the hub of everything we're doing in our inventory. I'm gonna go ahead and just attach this to my inventory canvas right now so that I don't forget later on, and then we can open up the script. Now we can start by getting rid of these start and update methods as we won't be needing those, and instead we're gonna add an onEnable method. This is where we're going to subscribe and let the loot know that we're listening. So we'll just go loot.onItemLoaded, and here we're just gonna tell it what to do when an item has been looted. In this case, we're gonna call a new method called addItem, which we'll create in just a moment. Before we do that, however, let's add a private void onDisable, and just make sure that we're unsubscribing from this event anytime this object gets disabled. Now we'll create our addItem method, and we need to make sure that this one's public, as later on other scripts are going to need to be able to talk to it. You'll notice that the red lines haven't gone away from my onEnable and disable methods, and that's because we need to take in parameters. We need to listen to what item SO has been collected and how many of them we're getting. Now we can do an if statement. We're gonna check to see if the item SO is gold or not. This is just a reference to that checkbox we put in our item SO for whether or not it's gold. Now if it is gold, we're gonna need to do some stuff, but first of all, we need to keep track of how much gold we have. So let's come up top where we can create a public integer to hold our gold total. We're also gonna make a public TextMeshPro text reference, which will just be for our gold text. And we'll need to make sure that we add that we are using TMPro so that our script can actually recognize that code. Now we can say what's gonna happen when we find gold. So we just wanna make sure that our gold goes up by whatever quantity of gold we've just found. We also wanna update our TextMeshPro. So we'll tell our gold text, and we're just gonna make it equal to our gold. Now if the item was gold, we don't need to go any further in this method, so we're just gonna type return. Back in Unity, let's open up our inventory canvas, look under our gold at the amount text there, and we just want to make sure that our manager knows where that text is, so we'll drag it into the gold text box. That's actually all the setup we need, and now when we get in the game, we can collect gold, and there we go, it's up to 7. All right, now we need to get the items working. Now back in our inventory manager, let's imagine that it's not gold we're collecting. So we're gonna add an else statement here, and there's a fair bit of logic we're gonna wanna do to update our UI for items, so we're gonna make that in a special method just to separate our concerns. So let's call update UI here. Now we could set up all of our logic for updating the slots here, however that would quickly turn this into a sort of God script that's trying to do everything all at once, and it becomes hard to manage. We want to delegate that responsibility to another script. So let's head back into Unity where we're going to create a inventory slot script. Now that we've created that script, I'm just going to go into my inventory slot prefab and make sure to add the new component so that I don't forget later on. We can then open it up. I'm going to begin by getting rid of the start and update method. And the most important thing for this slot is that it needs to know what item it is. So let's make a public item SO reference. We're going to have each slot keep track of its own quantity, and then it also needs to be able to talk to its user interface. So let's go ahead here and make an image reference. We'll call it item image. Though for this to work, we're going to have to add the using line unityengine.ui. We're also going to add the using TM Pro so that we can make a reference to our quantity text. At this point, we can head down and make a public void update UI method, and this is where we're going to do all of our updating of the UI. So let's get our item images sprite and just make it equal to the scriptable objects icon. And let's just pause here and go up top and make a conditional statement here. As if we don't have an item scriptable object assigned to this slot, we don't want it trying to access data on an object it doesn't have. So we'll just go if the item scriptable object is not null. Now we can also make sure that we turn this sprite on or off, depending on whether or not it should actually have an image. We'll just copy that line, and we're going to make an else statement so that if there is no item in here, we'll just turn off the image of an item. Now we're ready to update our quantity text, so we'll tell it that its text should be equal to quantity, and don't forget that we need to convert this to a string so that the text can read it. We'll then do a similar thing down here if there's no item, except that this time we're going to make our quantity text's text equal to just empty quotation marks. All right, we're finally starting to get somewhere now, so I'm just going to go into my inventory slot prefab and make sure that it knows where to find its own image, that's the item icon, as well as its quantity text. Now we can finally finish our inventory manager. Now the first thing we need to do is actually make it so we can talk to those inventory slots. So let's make a public inventory slot array, and I'm just going to call this one item slots. Let's head down into our add item method. And right now, if it's not gold, we don't want to call update UI right away as we don't know which slot we're actually updating. So instead, we're going to make a for each loop. You can get this by typing for e and then double tapping tab in most IDEs. Now here we are just going to call these slots, and for each slot in our item slots array, we just want to go slot.updateUI. Now the only problem with that is that this is going to make it so that if we pick up a steak, it fills every slot with that steak. So first of all, let's actually look for an empty slot. To do this, we're just going to do an if statement. We'll say if the slot's item SO is null. So that way it will only fill the slot if it's actually empty. Now at this point we're almost there, but if we look at the inventory slots update UI method, it actually needs to know what its item SO and quantity are in order to do that update. So we're going to need to send across that information. So before the slot updates its UI, let's just make sure we tell it that its item SO should be equal to this new item SO, and that its quantity should be equal to the new quantity. Keep in mind that at the moment this doesn't support stacking, but we will definitely be adding that in the next video. Now at this point, we would update every single empty slot with the new item, and we don't want to do that. So we're just going to type return here so that once we found an empty slot, it terminates the loop. Back in Unity, we're just going to click on our inventory canvas where we now have this new drop down for our item slots. I'm going to lock my inspector so that it stays here, then click on the first inventory slot, hold shift and click the bottom one to select them all, and then I'll just drag them over into the item slots array. All right, we're ready to test. Now in game, we've still got 0 stakes at the top, which is a little weird, but when we collect the items, you'll notice that it is populating the inventory. All right, let's fix that starting status of our slots. Now all we want to do here is just add back our start method, and at the beginning, we just want to update the UI of every slot. So we're going to make another for each loop, and here we're just going to make it so that for each slot in our item slots, we just want to call slot.update. That way, when they're empty, they'll update as empty when we start the game. Now for anyone else using the Tiny Swords asset pack, if you're having something like this happen when you play where the items are filling with really weird sizes, I'll show you why. What's going on here is that our meat_idle is meant to be an item, and it's 128 by 128 pixels. However, things like the mushroom are actually just meant to be decorations, and they're half the size, which is why things are blowing up to strange sizes when we put them into our slots. Now you can actually use all of these, you just need to do a little edit to the sprite, which does mean using whatever external program you have to edit your sprites. In my case, I'm a Photoshop user, so I'm just going to reveal this in Finder. You'll notice here that my mushroom has just a tiny bit of space around it. I'm just going to go to Image, Canvas Size, and I'm going to double it up to 128 by 128. It now fills the space much more like the steak does. I'll then hit Command S to save. Once you've updated all of those, you should be all set, so you can start the game with an empty inventory, and as you collect them, they will fill and they'll actually be the right size. Now I know we haven't handled stacking, dropping items, using items, that sort of thing. We will get there, I promise, but that's coming up in the next video. Until that time, this is Matt with Night Run Studio. Cheers.